All right. Warm welcome everyone to this live stream. Today we're gonna have talk about how to play jazz music on the mandolin, and it's sort of like an training. That is, if you are like a bluegrass mandolin player, or if you are a folk player that want to get into playing jazz, this is a perfect session for you. And also if you are more experienced into this and want to have some more pro tips, more advanced things, I also have something for you. So we're gonna cover a little, like quite a wide spectrum of playing jazz on the mandolin, because it's something that I'm very fond of. I've been doing it for many years. If we haven't met before, my name is Magnus Zetterlund. This is my studio here in Sweden, the Mandolin Secrets studio. And just to give you a quick idea for like this style that we're playing today, looking at it is well, it's this kind of style, like. So I mean, if I'm showing you a little more here, like. So this kind of like swing and jazz music that it's so fun to play on the mandolin, and I want to get you started on this journey and give you some like good tips around it. So, and this is the first live stream in quite a while for me, so I'm a bit interested to see how it goes. I can also see if I can feed some comments, if there's some comments come in. Just to try that feature, if someone is watching, would you like add a little comment there? I'm typing my name in, Magnus, Sweden. I'm also trying this thing. I'm broadcasting to both like vertical and horizontal, so a little bit of tech test at the same time. Anyway, I want to get we're gonna get to it. Also, just know that if you want to learn more about jazz chords, I actually have a free chord chart with some like movable jazz chords for mandolin, and you can find it at my website. It's mandolinsecrets.com/jazz chords. I'm gonna put that in the link in the description later. But I mean, I've been really playing a lot on my electric mandolin here at the start, practicing a new tune. Someday my prince will come. You probably know this tune. What is that? Why people are getting into this? I'm gonna play a little bit. So can see we got one here. Yeah, we got Elliot, Lewis, Johan is here. Fantastic. Sam, nice. So this is my electric octave mandolin. But it's the cool thing with this instrument, I can use all my like jazz mandolin shops straight to an electric instrument. I'm gonna see if you can spot the tune. Get a jazz and so on. And I'm gonna get back to this later. For if there are like more advanced players around there, I'm gonna show my favorite way of practicing to playing these jazz standards. I'm gonna demonstrate it on the electric, but let us get back to the other mandolin. So if you want to get into playing jazz chords on the mandolin, and if you're coming from the bluegrass background, the one thing that you will notice is how can we form like 7 chords, major 7, minor 7 chords, 6 chord, diminished chords. So without getting too theoretic, more advanced chords basically. And a very common and like great way to get into it is, let's look at some like first basic open chords. The G chord that everyone know, like this. But if we're making this like a G7 chord, maybe you know this one. So it's just a G coming a G7. The same approach, if you will notice, let's look at a chord sequence like D minor 7 to G7 to C major 7. We can do this kind of thing for the D minor chord, make it a 7, G7 and C major 7. So that is a common approach to this. And that's also how I started. But what you realize when you're playing jazz chords like that, you can see if we're going to play this sequence. Kind of sounds good, but it's also a bit awkward moving it around like this. So a better approach that I found is to use what we call like 3-string chords. And that is forming these chords over the 3 set of strings. So the same chord sequence, D minor 7, G7, C major 7. Played it like that, it will be like this. So I think you can see the difference from and this one. And the 3-string chords, they are sort of not only gentle to your hand, but also somehow pleasing to the ear, because it's small movements opening up a world of harmony. So for anyone, I can see there is wish I brought my mandolin onto the school bus, says Sam here. Mash, I'm pretty much a noob, but don't worry about me. Well, so this is for you. To play like a D minor chord, D minor 7, try this. So fret numbers being 5, 3, 5. And I'm not playing the open string here, so it's, and then I'm just adjusting one note, making the G7. So it's one shift only. Fret numbers now being 4, 3, 5. Let's stay with those 2 chords only. And a very common way of playing rhythm, what I recommend people to start with is to play this 4 to the bar kind of thing we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm now shifting D minor 7 to G7, only back and forth. kind of finish it up, we can also add this C major 7. Fret numbers being 5, 2, 2. I can see, I will go a little bit back and forth between comments here. Sam says, will this be on your YouTube? Yes, this live stream will sit on the YouTube, so you can go back and watch the replay. But the main takeaway for you is, if you're looking at these chords within a chord book or chord diagram, you will end up with this kind of thing. Like the 4 string chords. And they sound good like individually. But the trick that you have to realize is you want to be able to play like chord sequences. And I find the 3 string chords being perfect for that purpose. And so this PDF that I'm referring to on my website, it is like all about 3 string chords, and that you can also movable ones arranged in sequences. And the sequence that I'm kind of recommend starting with is this 2-5-1 sequence, just like we play D minor 7, G7, C major 7. And what is cool also with this, because this is sort of what we refer to as closed position chords, you can easily move them around. So if I'm just doing this shape, I can move it up here, move it up here, and at this point you don't have to be too concerned what the actual chords are, but just try moving it around. You will get into this kind of that kind of thing. And yeah, hopefully this is at least a way for you to see where to start. And I also want to point out, you might be thinking jazz music, it's also about improvisation, playing leads, playing solos. That's the thing that I want to learn. But one thing you got to realize, and that I've realized over the years, that you need, as an improviser and as a solo player, you also need to be quite comfortable following the chord changes. Because compared to playing like a fiddle tune, let's say then you can get around like your improvisation ideas and soloing pretty much on like a scale-based approach. Meaning, if we're playing Sane as Real in the key of D major, we can sort of noodle around with the D major scale, and it will be quite good. If we're playing All of Me in the key of C major, we can't just only rely on C major scale for that. And let me show you quickly what I mean. Sane as Real. You see my variations all coming from the D major scale. But if we're instead doing like All of Me or Someday My Prince Will Come or most jazz tunes, you need to be kind of keep the chord sequence present. So doing All of Me. If I want to play solo over that, I will do something like. And And that is sort of outlining the chord changes with arpeggios and small movements in this case. But my main point is to be able to do that, you gotta be aware of the chord sequence. And the best way to train that, if you're asking me, is to also learn how to play the backup and the rhythms for the chords. Because ultimately that is what you're learning then. To keeping this chord sequence in your mind and in your head sort of. Then next thing of course is to learn how to bring that out in a melodic way. But first step is just knowing this chord sequence. And that's why I kind of recommend people to start with jazz chords. And not only like looking through a book or anything. Learn proper chord sequences. Yes. So hope this is see some comment here also. Nice. Yeah, gotta run to an appointment. No worries, Lewis. Thanks for checking in. I'm gonna like open up for a little Q&A here in the end, but I have yes, I have a few more things that I want to share with you, and also want to play back some more music to you. But yes, and also one thing that I want to point out regarding the 3-string jazz chords, the G7, so also know that there are a number of ways to play this G7. It can be like this. That is 4 different ways to do it on the same set of strings. And you might be thinking, which one do I then choose? And that is, I'm mainly using the lower range of the instrument, because I think we're still in a high range, because it's a high-pitched instrument. But in the lower range of the instrument, it sort of sounds good, and we make space for if there's another instrumentalist or vocalist involved. And a good way to get started is to check out the PDF available on my website, because really it is about putting it to the chat now. But please don't jump straight there. It would be nice if you stay with me here during the live stream. And so what if I say that, okay, so you gotta learn how to put these 3-string chords into chord sequences. Which chord sequences do we choose? The ones that I recommend, the 2-5-1 in both major and minor keys. Perfect way to start, because it's such a common chord progression within most jazz standards. If I'm just looking to Someday My Prince Will Come here, there's a couple of them I can spot directly. But so that is good. Also, playing tunes, learning songs, playing tunes, and so that is really my method. You don't have to be too theoretical about it. You don't have to kind of not even know exactly what you're doing in the beginning. It's sort of just okay if you kind of learning these shapes by learning a bunch of repertoire and songs, because you will then start to see that there's a lot of patterns and what is this repeating kind of harmonic movements ending up in different songs and tunes, but you will starting to see how they connect together. So that's also why I have a huge selection, of course, with music and songs and tunes picked out suitable for this. It's in my method is to kind of I have this course. It's a jazz comping guide. This course is called. Some of you might have even been through it, but that's sort of like including one of these chords and putting it to a nice common sequence by learning tunes. The dominant seventh chords, great for blues tunes. If you want to get into like turnarounds, this what I presented in the beginning. It's like the what do we call this again? Slipped my mind. Well, like a rhythm changes kind of thing, and well, all that stuff. So I have that covered. If you already gone to the point where you know the few basic chords, go study repertoire. Learn a handful of tunes that you can play by heart by yourself. I want to bring back my electric mandolin because one of the most like fun way for me to my favorite way of practicing this is working with a looper. You know this looper machine where you play back something and it's sort of playing back to you instantly and you can play along with it. And I'm gonna grab it here. And this is exactly what I've been doing like in my morning here for the last couple of months, I would say, because I'm playing a lot with Yuan. Yuan even dropped by here, learning new jazz repertoire, and I want to be able to play like backup for it and play solo and lead over it. And a great way is you can work with backing tracks, of course. Like there are you can find those backing tracks on YouTube on different apps. iReal Pro is a good one. But also I kind of my favorite still is working with a looper machine, simply because I have to train my chord playing to be able to do some soloing even. And if you haven't noticed, I'm now like switching gears. So this is more towards like intermediate advanced players that want to be more like intuitive and expressive with your jazz studies and jazz playing. So if you're just starting out, maybe this isn't just for you, but this is still where we're heading. See, come on, well, that's what I do most, learning to play to backing tracks and by ear. Yeah, backing tracks is great. Even better, I would say, at least for me, this is my favorite way of doing. So let's say I want to learn to play Someday My Prince Will Come. And it's starting off like this. Someday my prince will. The good thing with a looper that you don't have to play a complete chorus or a passage even. You can just take if always it's those the first number of chords there that I want to work on. So then I put them down to my looping machine. I can even slow it down a little. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now my looper machine is playing it back. I'm not sure if I even can lift this up. Maybe I can. This is an improvised part of the live stream where I'm showing you my gear. Look at this. My pedal board. Looks quite nice. And this one in the middle, it is this looping gadget. If I press this, what I just played coming back to me, and I stop it and I start it. That makes it and then I can start working on my melody playing on top of this. And 1, 2, 3. Maybe I realize I want to play it on the high octave. Well, guess what? I got an endless backup player coming here. And if I also want to work on my soloing, find melodic phrases that works to this. I'm trying doing things like this. And so on. And so that's really how I've started this live stream with playing through the entire melody, doing some soloing for it. This is how I practice it. I'm putting a little backing track to my looper, segment by segment, but also then stretching it until I can do the whole, and just trying to play as free as I can through it. And it gives me, I found it to be really like efficient way for me to practice this. Since as I said, also when doing my soloing, I have to kind of sharpen my rhythm skills a bit. So something, and I mean most of the time it will be like this. Okay, so now I want to do this part. We're going. Da da da, do 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 do, da 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 do, and I'm playing it back, and I wanna do do da 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 do. Oh, then I realized, well, it actually. Okay, I gotta do it again. So 1, 2, 3. My point is I often have to redo my backing track because I play something wrong. And that is a good thing, I think, because I'm refining it, and I think by now I can probably put a good backing track just by hitting the button and do it, because I've been like playing around with it so much. And that is that is what practice is. It has to do a lot with repetition, doing it over and over again, and just sitting there like. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't give me the same quality of practice as if I'm using the looper machine. This little stream is not about using a looper machine. I've done videos like that also. So if you want to search my name, Magnus Zetterlund, mandolin, looper, looping pedal, or whatever, you will find videos about it. Mashes, I'm jealous watching. Probably it's my pedal board. That makes it jealous. Not my playing, but my pedal board. Right? That's how we work. And you might also think, well, it's easy to connect an electric mandolin to a looping machine. What if I don't have an electric mandolin? How can we do that? My friend, I got you covered. I even have a video showing you like the best, well, my recommended microphone for an ordinary mandolin. That is, by the way, a weird saying. Ordinary mandolin. I meant an acoustic mandolin. Oh, thanks, Mash. I say yes. Both, actually. Thank you. I'm very glad you do these lessons. Thank you. Yes, I plan to do the live stream lessons. That was something I did a lot 5-6 years ago when I was. It was actually 6-7 years ago now that I think about it. When I was starting out doing online teaching, I did live stream. Well, I actually started without the live stream, but when I started to do some live streaming, that's when I started to get more comfortable with being on camera and doing online teaching. So it was a really good experience for me. Then I haven't done it too much because I'm so busy like serving my students basically. But I now come to a point, and I've also acquired a bigger studio space. So I want to do more of the live streaming, and I'm going to do it here on YouTube on a weekly basis. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm happy to see if there are any questions or comments or questions basically in the chat. But I interrupted myself. There is a video for me showing how to use a microphone, a transducer. I used the Schertler ones, and how you connect it to your pedal board so you can use the looping machine of it. That video is also there. Maybe search for Magnus Zetterlund mandolin microphone looper. You will probably find it. Yeah. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer the question. I'm also gonna try a light feature here that I did see. If I can add a little. If I can add a comment here. This is a placeholder comment overlay. How can I actually adjust that? Text, edit text. Okay, I see. To the broadcast. Well, I thought I could enter some of your comments here, but I wasn't able to do that. I'm gonna see if I can get that working later. Switching back to my ordinary window there. So, asking you again, if you have a question, I'm happy to answer it. Oh, look at that. Let me see here. I did find a little. Maybe I found a way to add this comment to the. Look at that! I can actually add a comment. Here's from Mash420. I'm very glad you do these lessons. Thank you very much. And as I said, I will I will do more of these. Maybe I can add this. Yes, here's a little comment also from myself. The free jazz mandolin chord charts. You find it at my website, mandolinsecrets.com/jazz chords. I can see. Here is a. So Elliot asks, what was the fingering on that final chord? I think the chord that we are interested in is this C major 7. I did play it in 2 different ways and different fingerings. I was doing this one, This is the 3-string chord. Fret numbers being 5, 2, 2. And the finger here, reaching the C note on the 5th fret with my 3rd finger. And then the E and the B note with my 1 finger only. I'm doing this 1 finger chord trick that we often do on the mandolin. Nice. Sam asked, will this video be on your YouTube? Yes, you are already on my YouTube, and the replay will also stay there. Yeah, I think that's so. If I don't see any other Q&A coming, thank you so much for showing up live for this little live stream. And if you want the free jazz mandolin chord charts, find it at my website. If you already are familiar with these chords and want to know how to apply them to songs and tunes, you should check out my course, because that's really what it's all about. With this said, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna switch back to my starting window. Thank you so much. Next week I'll be back with another live stream, so see you here. I believe it will be the same time, same place. But I'm starting like step by step here, but I think that's what I'm hoping for, and I'll let you know if I change my mind on another time. But otherwise, meet you same place, same time. You can also drop me an email if there's a specific topic you want me to cover during these live streams. I'm happy to I'm going to first just address a few. I can see some comments here. So Midwest Music Enthusiast says, well shit, I missed it. No worries, the replay is available, so you can, once this broadcast is finished, you can watch the replay. So nice. And here we got another. If I put my pinky on the D note, A string, does that make it a 9? Yes, that's for the C7. We can make it a C9. There's a number of ways to form a 9 chord also. But you're absolutely correct. Law of Gravity, thank you, Magnus. Well, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. Wishing you a good start of the weekend. It's Thursday afternoon only here, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming up. Wishing you a good start of the year, start of the weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.